Good day everyone, my name is Alger Acaso. So for today, I'm going to discuss the 1987 Constitution after martial law. President Corazon Aquino's government had three options regarding the situation: revert to the 1935 Constitution, retain the 1973 Constitution, and be granted the power to make reforms or start anew and break from the stages of disgraced dictatorship. They decided to make a new constitution that, according to the president herself, should be truly reflective of the aspiration and ideals of the Filipino people. In March 1986, President Aquino proclaimed a transitional constitution to last for a year while a constitutional commission drafted a permanent constitution. This transitional constitution, called the Freedom Constitution, maintained many provisions of the old one, including in rewritten from the presidential right to rule by decree. In 1986, a constitutional convention was created, composed of 48 members, appointed by President Aquino from varied backgrounds and representations. So the convention drew up a permanent constitution, largely restoring the setup abolished by Marcos in 1972, but with a new ways to keep president in check. A reaction to the experience of Marcos' rule, the new constitution was officially adopted on February 2, 1987. The Constitution begins with a preamble and 18 self-contained articles. It established the Philippines as a democratic republican state where sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them. It allocates governmental powers among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of the government. The executive branch is headed by the president and his cabinet, whom he appoints. The president is head of the state and the chief executive, but his power is limited by significant checks from the two other co-equal branches of government. Especially during times of emergency, this is put in place to safeguard the country from the experience of martial law despotism during the presidency of Marcos. In cases of national emergency, the president may still declare martial law but not longer than a period of 60 days. Congress, through a majority vote, can revoke this decision or extend it for a period that they determine. So the Supreme Court may also review the declaration of martial law and decide if there were sufficient justifying facts for the act. So the president and the vice president are elected at large by a direct vote, serving a single 6-year term. Aside from the exclusive power of legislation, Congress may also declare war through a 2/3 vote in both upper and lower houses. So the power of legislation, however, it also subject to an executive check, as the president retains the power to veto or stop a bill from becoming a law. Congress may only override this power with a 2/3 vote in both houses. And the Philippines court system is vested with the power of judiciary and is composed of Supreme Court and lower court as created by law. So the Supreme Court is a 15-member court appointed by the president without the need to be confirmed by Congress. So the appointment the president makes, however, is limited to list of nominees provided by the constitutionally specified judicial and bar council. The Supreme Court justice may hear on appeal any cases dealing with the constitutionality of any law, treaty, or decree of the government, cases where questions of jurisdiction or judicial error or concern, or cases where the penalty is sufficiently grave. It may also exercise original jurisdiction over cases involve government or international officials. So the Supreme Court is also in charge of overseeing the functioning and administration of the lower courts and their personnel. So the Constitution also established three independent constitutional commissions, namely the Civil Service Commission, a central agency in charge of government personnel. The Commission of Elections are mandated to enforce and administer all election laws and regulations, and the Commission on Adult, which examines all funds, transactions, and property accounts of the governments and its agencies. To further promote the ethical and lawful conduct of the government, the Office of the Ombudsman was created to investigate complaints that pertained to public corruption, unlawful behavior of public officials, and other public misconduct. The Ombudsman can charge public officials before the Sandigang Bayan, a special court created for this purpose.